Hey guys, what's up? I hope all is well with you. Good afternoon to you, and welcome to Chef G's page. There's been a lot of buzz about kale. I talked about kale forever and ever and ever, so now there's a lot of people that's catching on to that and asking questions about various recipes and what to do with that leafy green that used to be on the plate at the steakhouse and thrown in the trash. You never would eat it. Everybody would discard kale, but now it is a thing to have because it is so, and it always has been, so beneficial to your health and nutrition. So today I'm going to prepare some, and one of the things that I want to say about kale, other than the color and the leafy green that it has, it is power packed with all of the vitamins and nutrients that you would need for a healthy body and soul, but it is extremely versatile. I use it in smoothies and sometimes when I'm making soups such as beans and chickpeas and lentils, carrots and onions, garlic and olive oil and other seasonings. When the soup is almost done, then I'll drop, a couple of bundles of kale down in there. And it looks like a lot, but it shrinks down and it melts down kind of like a spinach. And adds color, adds depth, adds earthiness, adds flavor, adds texture, adds vitamins to those soups. So I do it like that. I also use it as a smoothie sometimes when I mix it into my smoothies. Very, very good if you don't like to do all that chewing. Then it is a way to get those nutrients in your system without all of the excess chewing that you have to do for that. And then a lot of people sometimes don't like the pungentness or the grittiness or the texture of it, or they say it's tough, not as tender as a spinach is. If you are sauteing that off, which is what I'm going to do today, and I don't mind those tastes and textures and things like that, but if it is too much for you and you're using it, using the kale just alone as a standalone or a side or a salad or something like that, my suggestion to you is just to put a pinch of sugar in that. Not a handful, not a cup, but just a pinch of sugar in that. Kind of like when you are making a chili or you're making spaghetti, you have the acid from the tomatoes that are in there. You want to cut some of that acidity, so you add a little bit of sugar, a pinch of sugar to that. Try it sometimes. It makes all the difference. Doesn't turn your dish sweet. It just cuts that acidity for you. So what I'm going to do today is have this probably as a side. That's the mindset now, but I don't know what I'll eventually do with it. But I wanted to saute down this kale. It doesn't take god awful long to cook at all because you can eat kale raw. And so anything that you can eat raw don't have to be cooked forever. Matter of fact, it could just be wilted down. I won't go through the entire, will not go through the entire process for you, but I will picture how the end product look. I know that you guys love pictures more so than you do videos, so I don't waste a lot of time doing videos. But speaking of videos, now I am doing some, and I'm reaching out to the YouTube group. I have 2 uploaded so far. I'll have more up and coming, both with cooking demonstrations, nutritional facts, and some workouts. So stay tuned. I'm going to even be dancing on some of them. You don't want to miss that. So make sure you stay tuned to that and see that. Okay, so the trick today, and as I said, I won't do the whole thing here. I will do a little bit more later on for you. The trick to this is to have a skillet that is extremely hot. That's why what I view as sauteing, not a pot full of grease or a skillet full of grease. There is no kind of oils or anything in here right now. And so I am just going to, I want it to almost smoke. So I'm going to get it warm with this Pam spray. Here, the skillet is already hot. Be careful if you're going to do this, saute this and sear this. If it's coming from moisture, I've taken the stems off and I've washed the kale about 5 times, but it's going to be going from a wet to a hot. Be very careful with the sizzling of that, and have a lid ready just in case there's too much splattering going on. You can get that on there. Okay, here we go. Bear with me. Little smoke there. You're going to see. I'm going to cut on this hood. Hopefully you can still hear me. I forgot to tell you, I cut up a little onions. You'll hear that sizzle. Get that in there. I have garlic already cut up. I don't do too much without garlic. I have that there. So you can smell that already. Man, oh, I don't know. I'm a garlic and I'm an onion lover. So you get that going, toss it around a little bit, or if you don't want to toss, then you can stir. I wish this was like smell-o-vision. Okay, so I'll let that sizzle just a little bit, and I'm going to drop that kale right on top of that. Once the kale gets on there, I'm going to let it char. Char means to give a little burn. The kale will not be burned. You will see some darker leaves on some versus in the other. That releases a lot of that flavor that is going to come up through your onions. It's going to come up through. I'm going to add olive oil, a little bit of sesame oil to this. Garlic, as I mentioned earlier. I will also add just a very slight pinch of salt and pepper. I'm not huge on salt by any means, but I'll add just a pinch of that. And a little bit of pepper, maybe a dash of oregano, and you can use any kind of seasonings and herbs that you have in your cabinet. You don't always have to follow Chef G when it comes to the herbs and when it comes to the spices, although I will make suggestions for you. Okay, so what I'm doing now is just letting the onions caramelize, so to speak. You can't see. If I move the camera, it's going to fall. I apologize for that. But they're starting to brown, so that means that they're caramelizing. They're reducing the flavor, releasing the flavor, not reducing. You don't want it to reduce. Releasing the flavor. Maybe I need to slow down. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit more of this pan spray, just a dab of that. I do not want to knock the camera over, which it looks like I'm going to do. So I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil here. A little bit of sesame oil. You hear that sizzle, hopefully. And in comes, oh gosh, the smell. If you would hear, you'd be ready to eat this now. Oh, it's so good. Here comes the kale. It's just beautiful, isn't it? Just beautiful. All right, that sizzle. There. Now somebody might be saying, Chef, that's too much. It's too much in the pot. Oh, it's too much. It's not too much. It's going to, you can't even see it's too much. Look at that. Oh, man. All right, so I got that sitting on top like that. And it is going to, I just cranked up the heat just a dab there. And believe it or not, I'm just going to let that set like that until I hear that good sizzle come again. I have my lid already ready. I'm going to cover that. And so what happens when I do that, I'll get the fry, the sizzle from the bottom. The steam that is shooting up through the onions and through the kale will hit the lid. It will act as a pressure cooker, so to speak. It'll wilt down some of that kale there. I'll take the lid back off. I'll stir a couple times. Get the char that I talked about earlier on top. Let the top go down to the bottom. Move it through the middle, and you have got kale sizzled, sauteed, wilted kale. I suggest also, if you're into vinegars, use a balsamic vinegar or a pineapple vinegar or apple cider vinegar, and you can make vinegar and vinaigrettes out of anything. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you respond and reply back. I hope that you check me out on YouTube, because we're up and coming and we're going to be big. Okay, have a fantastic day, and I hope that you enjoy your leafy greens. All right, never give up. Peace out.